Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a minute since we've had a story time. Early summer, late spring's a busy time. We got baby goats being born, other goats getting kind of big. Not really that cooperative for story time anymore. So we're going to read a story called Once Upon a Goat by Dan Richards. So Dan Richards contacted me and asked me to read this story. Wonder why, right? Anyhow, so I said that sounds great. He talked to his publishers, and the publisher said that the legal team consider that reading the entire book in a recording would be a violation of their copyright. Not that they didn't want me to do it, they just didn't want, you pay lawyers to be cautious. So we agreed that the way we were going to do this was that I was going to read the story, but we were going to have to skip a section. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to skip the very beginning. But I think we can kind of figure out what's going on. So if you look at the cover here, Once Upon a Goat, you see this goat, and he's standing in a grand staircase, sitting actually. Hey, hold still. We got a coat of arms, and some armor, banners. Looks like a castle. And Once Upon a Goat sounds like a fairy tale. So what kind of people live in castles and have fairy tales told about them? Probably some kind of royalty. So here we go, Once Upon a Goat, and we are going to pick up where the king and queen see their fairy godmother. One day, their fairy godmother stopped by for a visit. "Tell me what you desire," she asked. "We'd like to start a family," said the king. "We're not particular," said the queen. "Glowing skin, bright eyes, hair like ocean waves should do." Said their fairy godmother. "A boy would be great," added the king, "but any kid will do." "Of course," answered their fairy godmother. "Look upon your doorstep when the moon is full." The next full moon, the king and queen ran to the door. "Let it be a boy," said the king. "With hair like ocean waves," said the queen. "Bah," said the goat. "Where are you going?" "I wanted a baby," cried the queen. "It's my fault," wailed the king. "I said any kid would do, but I never meant this." Reluctantly, the king and queen brought the little beast into their home. "Look on the bright side," said the king. "We can still hold it like a baby." "It has a goatee," said the queen. "We won't need to change its diapers," said the queen. "That's disgusting," said the king. "At least it loves the royal roses," said the king. "That's it. It has to go," commanded the queen. "I guess we're better off now," said the queen sadly. "A stand had to be taken for the roses," replied the king. "Of course," said the queen. "Hi, so Coco." That night it rained hard. "It's not our fault we were given a goat," said the queen. "Not our fault at all," added the king. "And yet I wonder if it was right to put the little fellow out on such a blustery night." "Clearly he lacks the good sense to come in to find shelter. I suppose he could just come in for a little bit to dry off." "He looks hungry," said the king. "Maybe he could share a nibble or two from our meal." "It's late. We can hardly send him away now," said the queen. "He shall have to stay in our room for the night." "It's only for the night," said the king. One night turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Goat looks pretty happy, doesn't he? Before long, their fairy godmother returned for a visit. "How is everything?" "Wonderful," replied the king and queen. "Perfect. May I see the child?" "You must." "Isn't he darling?" said the king. "A blessing," said the queen. "You must be joking," said their fairy godmother. "It's a goat." Yes, left on our doorstep when the moon was full, just like you said. Uh-oh, said their fairy godmother. I'll be right back. Oh dear. Looks like she found the royal baby. This is for the best, really. My sincere apologies for the misunderstanding. I'll just return the goat, and that will be that. Wait, said the queen. Perhaps there's an alternative, said the king at last. Yes, I see your point, said the fairy godmother. Oops, where are you going? Hey, buddy. There you are. You going to the castle? Just like these goats? Fairy godmother's bringing the goats to the castle. What are you doing? Get out of there. Well, said the king, it's not exactly the family we wished for. No, replied the queen, better. And that is Once Upon a Goat by Dan Richards. Hope you liked it. Thanks, everybody.